Red Class. I'm so glad to have you here with me today for our video. Well, hello everybody. Can you touch your paws? Touch your paws, touch your paws. Well, hello everybody. Can you touch your paws? Touch your paws. Well, hello everybody. Can you touch your claws? Touch your claws, touch your claws. Well, hello everybody. Can you touch your claws? Touch your claws. Today our words that rhyme are paws and claws. Let's do our bear finger play. Here's the cave. Inside is the bear. Now he comes out to get some fresh air. When snow starts to fall, he hurries inside his warm little cave, and there he will hide. Try it with your other hand. Here's the cave. Inside is the bear. Now she comes out to get some fresh air. When snow starts to fall, she hurries inside her warm little cave, and there she will hide. We can do it with both hands. Here are the caves. Inside are some bears. Now they come out to get some fresh air. When snow starts to fall, they hurry inside their warm little caves, and there they will hide. This week our story is called The Three Snow Bears by Jan Brett. And she wrote and illustrated some other books that we've read recently, like The Mitten and The Gingerbread Baby. I really like her books. Now, while you're listening to this story called The Three Snow Bears, I want you to think, if you know a story that's similar, what does the story remind you of? Another story that you know? Let me know. Come back! Aluki shouted as her huskies floated out to sea. Oh no! She knew that although an ice floe is a good place to fish, it is a bad place to lose a dog team. Not far away, a snow bear family had just started to eat their breakfast, but it was way too hot for Baby Bear. Owie! Yelled Baby Bear. My breakfast burned my mouth. We'll go for a stroll and let the soup cool, Mama Bear said. Aluki was running along looking for her dogs when she came upon the biggest igloo she had ever seen. Who lives here? She wondered. Aluki ducked inside. Right away, she smelled something delicious. Across the room, she saw a big bowl, a middle-sized bowl, and a small bowl. Surely the good smell was coming from the three bowls. Aluki took a sip from the biggest bowl. How! She cried out. Too hot! She took a sip from the middle-sized bowl. Ooh, too cold. She tipped up the littlest bowl and drank every drop. She said. Not too hot and not too cold. In the next room, Aluki spotted 3 pairs of beautiful boots standing in a row. She put on the biggest boot. Too big, she said. She put on the middle-sized boot. Too fancy, she said. She put on the littlest pair. Just right, she said, wiggling her toes in the soft fur lining. Aluki walked into the last room and found a long sleeping bench piled high with fur covers. Heat from an oil lamp warmed her cheeks and made her sleepy. Time for a nap, she thought. She crawled under the highest mound of covers. Too lumpy, she grumbled. She tried the middle bed with the furry fringe cover, but sank down so far she could hardly breathe. Too soft, she said. She rolled over into the smallest sleeping place, The furry blanket was cozy and warm, and the pillow was just her size. Just right, Aluki murmured, and was asleep before she could take her boots off. If Aluki hadn't fallen fast asleep, she might have heard her dogs barking happily. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear had spotted them adrift in the strong current and had gone out to save them. The Snow Bear family was pushing Aluki's dog team back toward their igloo and safety. Papa Bear crawled into the igloo and saw his big bowl sitting in a pool of spilled soup. "Someone has been tasting my soup," he roared. Mama Bear rushed in and saw that her soup had been sloshed around too. "Someone has been sipping my soup," she growled. "Someone found my soup," sputtered Baby Bear in her high squeaky voice, "and they ate it all up." Papa Bear ran into the next room and saw his boots in the middle of the floor. "Someone has been trying on my boots," he boomed in his big bear voice. Mama Bear put on her fancy boots. "Someone has had these boots on," she huffed, "and the fur is all bunched up." Baby Bear saw that her boots had disappeared. "Someone has taken my boots and left behind these not as good ones," she wailed. The bears ran into their bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," Papa Bear bellowed. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed too," Mama Bear cried. Baby Bear peeked at her little bed and squeaked, "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." Aluki opened her eyes and saw 3 bear noses only inches away. She hopped out of bed and dove between Papa Bear's huge, furry legs. Quicker than a seal, Aluki ran from room to room until she burst outside. Her huskies bounced around, barking and smiling their doggy grins. Aluki and her dogs flew over the frozen ice, dodging ridges and cracks. She looked back to wave a thank you to the Snow Bears. She couldn't see them, but she heard a big gruff voice, a middle-sized voice, and a high squeaky voice calling to her. "Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Bye-bye!" Polar bear, turn around. Polar bear, make no sound. Polar bear, dance on your toes. Polar bear, touch your nose. Polar bear, show your paws. Polar bear, hide your claws. Polar bear, reach up high. Polar bear, wink one eye. Polar bear, say good night. Polar bear, shut your eyes tight. Polar bear, wake up now. Polar bear, take a bow. Red class, here are some ideas of things that you can do this week. So we just read The 3 Snow Bears, and it's a really fun story to act out. If you were pretending, who do you think you'd like to be? Would you like to be the Papa Bear or the Mama Bear or maybe the Baby Bear? You can use some things from your house to act out the story. Papa Bear eats his soup out of the big bowl. Mama Bear eats her soup out of the medium-sized bowl. And Baby Bear eats her soup out of the just right bowl. Maybe you even want to make some soup this week and pretend that you're the bear family. In your January supplies, you have a bear that looks like this. It's a black bear, but really, you're actually going to make it into a polar bear. So if you see a polar bear, you notice that their fur looks white, but underneath their fur, they have black skin. And that helps them absorb all the rays of the sun to help them stay warm. Because they live in a really snowy, icy cold place. So another thing that's interesting about polar bears is that their fur is hollow, like a straw or a tube. And all of their hollow hairs put together traps lots of air next to their skin, which helps them keep warm. So, and their hair is actually clear, but altogether it looks like it's white. So hopefully you have some cotton balls at your house or something white and fluffy that you can use. Take some of them, however many it's okay for you to use, and put them all over this polar bear so that you can't see its black skin anymore. You can use glue or you can use a glue stick, whichever makes you happy. It's your polar bear. You can make it the way you like it. So you can either, I think I'll use glue today, if I can make it work. You can either put on the cotton ball like this and just put on lots and lots and lots of cotton balls. Or another fun thing to do is stretch the cotton ball out with your fingers. Pull it thin. And then that makes the cotton ball bigger, and it will cover up even more area. So you can play with those cotton balls and cover up your polar bear with nice warm fur. Here is a science experiment that you can do. The words say, does ice float or sink? So you're going to be a scientist and find out what happens when you put ice in water. All you need is an ice cube and a bowl or a cup of water. But before you start, make your prediction, your guess, what's going to happen, and mark it on this paper with a sticker or pen, whatever you like. Make a mark. If you think the ice cube is going to float, make a mark on top of the water. If you think the ice cube is going to sink, make a mark at the bottom of the water. And try your experiment. And try doing it 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. Scientists always do their experiments more than once to make sure that the same thing keeps happening. So here you're going to write down your observation. You're going to write down what you saw happen. Did the ice cube float? Make a mark right here. Or did the ice cube sink? Make a mark right there. And let me know what happens when you do this experiment. Here is a painting project that you can do. Get a piece of watercolor paper from your supplies, or if you have already used your watercolor paper, you can use any kind of paper. And make a beautiful design. It could be anything that you want, anything you can imagine. Do you want to make it look like a snowy night, or what else could it make like? Could look like nighttime or daytime. But fill up the paper with lots and lots of paint. I'll just do a little part so that you can see what happens. And then, when it's still wet, take some salt and just get a tiny pinch of it and sprinkle it onto your paper. You don't have to use too much salt. Just a little bit is okay. And then wait. As it dries, something's going to happen. I want you to see what happens when the paint dries. See what changes happen. What happens to the salt as the paint dries? You will probably have to be patient. It won't happen immediately, but just let your painting dry and then come back and see what happened. Thank you for watching today, Red Class. I'll see you again soon on Zoom.